FOJ 76. What's up, Jason?
Jeff, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's been 2 weeks, I think, since we last spoke.
Yeah, a couple weeks. I think we took kind of a week off, part of it for travel and other things that were going on for both of us. And yeah, here we are.
Here we are. Episode 76?
76. Is
Only
there a
the
Bears
only
number for that?
Yeah, the only 76 that comes to mind for me is the obvious one, which is Steve McMichael.
Yeah. Mongo. Who
Yeah.
else?
I can't.
Tevin Jenkins. He used to wear 76 and then he switched to 74.
Mr. Injury. Okay.
Yeah. So how's it going? What's new? What's shaking? You said you had something you wanted to lead off with, so I'm going to pass it over to you.
I do. So we learned that we gained a new listener who is a good friend of ours.
A whole new list. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Friends with us pretty much since yours and my friendship started, and you go back even further
8th
with
grade
him than I do. And he hit us with, "Hey," text out of nowhere. He hits us with, "Hey, I just listened to your first episode."
Yeah.
And I almost was like, dude, where the hell have you been? I mean, this is a guy who, we both lived with for a while and, spent the better part of her, 20s with and all that stuff. And, we talked about getting him on the show and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
He drops a, "Hey, I listened to your first episode. Pretty good."
Hey, a win's a win. We'll take it. Welcome to Friends of Jeff, Chit.
I know. So, although he did at one point, I think, kind of half commit to coming on at some point, which
is in the world of chat is almost a full commit.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it could go one of two ways. It could go really sideways, or it could be great,
or both. And neither one's fine.
And either one is just fine because, in the world of Chad, let's just call it, it's its own world. It's its own entity. It's its own thing.
I mean, there's so many good stories there, but yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
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 We have to figure that one out. That's
I
something
hope that would happen. I hope it happens because I love the guy and I know you do too. And he's one of the most unique people I've ever met in my life.
That's putting it mildly. Yes.
Yes.
He's a special snowflake, as are most of our friends.
Yes.
But yeah, that came out of the blue. And it's like, what? You listen to one? I'm like, of all the ones to listen to.
I know, right?
You know what? That's the weird thing about podcasts is I think people, they're like, oh, let me listen to the first one. And I guess that makes sense because you're kind of like, trained to start with the first thing. But this podcast and many of them, you can kind of pick up wherever. It's more about like whatever you see in the topics of like the notes or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of talk about, just kind of what's going on with each other. And we talk football and lots of Bears and all that. And just kind of, it's us catching up on life. So that's it.
And there's some running through lines that we'll have, right, through multiple episodes. I mean, look, if you started with episode 1, boy, Chad, you're going to really love it. And you're going to get to relive the excitement of the 2025 Chicago Bears. But you have like a year to catch up before you even get to that because this is 76. So you got a ways. And some of these that we did were like 2 hours long.
I know. We did have some marathon sessions. I think we started to trim it down a little bit, which is probably good. But it's always a good time. So Chad, welcome. Good to hear from you.
Yeah.
And keep listening.
Yeah. Always down to have more people on the show. Just talk. It's fine. You,
right.
Me, a couple dozen people maybe listening. Maybe not. That's fine.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah. So I was traveling this last week and I have an observation / quiz for you.
Okay.
Are you aware of the neck pillow when people fly?
Yeah. The pillow that wraps around your neck.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know the proper way to wear it?
I'm assuming that you're bringing this up because the real proper way to wear it is probably backwards from the way most people wear it. I'm guess because I know most people wear it to where the opening is in the front, so you put it on
Mhm.
from the back.
Yep.
But I'm guessing that it's supposed to be the opening is supposed to be set in the back and you push it from the front. And my guess is the reason is it basically holds your head up against the seat
Mhm.
and it keeps you from drooping, like your head falling forward.
Yeah, that's
Is
the
that
whole
is that
point.
correct?
You are absolutely 100%. Check out the big brain on Jay. And you're totally right. Look, if you're walking around the airport and you have it hooked around you like a horseshoe, right, with the opening in the front, I get it. That's fine.
Sure.
But I saw somebody sitting with it like that, and there is no way that can be comfortable, especially on an airplane seat. But yeah, you're totally right. You're supposed to spin it so that the opening is in the back
Yeah.
and the pillow is lifting your chin up so that it's back up against the headrest. But I saw someone reversed, and I was like, oh, you know,
God, I would think sleeping with it that way would just that would make your neck hurt even more
yeah,
when you woke
like
up.
there's no way that that is, comfortable. And that's probably one of those things where it's like the person is blaming the tool
Yeah.
instead of understanding how the tool works.
Yeah, that's user error right there.
100%.
Easy. Easy.
Yeah. So I saw that, and that was, maybe the highlight of the trip to Milwaukee that I made.
Okay.
No, the highlight was getting Portillo's and a piece of chocolate cake and some cheese fries. So I did that once, and that was happy. Also went
Wait, where
to,
did you get Portillo's from?
so somewhere near Milwaukee, Wauwatosa. I don't know the exact thing, but it was like 20 minutes from my hotel in Wauwatosa.
I had no idea that there was a Portillo's in the Milwaukee metropolitan area.
There's a few that are up there.
No kidding. Wow, that's news to me. I thought that between Gurnee and Minneapolis there wasn't anything.
There was some up there. Let me see if I can find the actual one I went to. It wasn't Wauwatosa specifically, but it was Brookfield.
Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of restaurants in Brookfield. I have multiple accounts in the Brookfield area actually.
Yeah, somewhat close to 94 coming west out of
Mhm.
Milwaukee downtown. But yeah, Portillo's Brookfield. I enjoyed, my 2-dog combo, cheese fries, and got a piece of chocolate cake.
Of
I actually
course.
saved it. I didn't eat it until a couple of days later.
Okay.
And then I was there for, client work and stuff like that, which is fine. And then I took one of my coworkers out for Korean hot pot and barbecue.
Okay. And how
Have
was
you
that?
done Korean hot pot and barbecue?
I've not, but I've heard that I need to because I've heard
You
it's really
absolutely
good.
need to do it.
I know you have mentioned that it's really good. I've had others mention that it's really good.
Yeah, it's a very cool experience. It's one of those places where I've been to it now, I think 3 or 4 times. So
Mm.
I feel like I'm starting to get a handle on it. But it's one of those things where you have a table and it has induction heaters on the table itself. So let's say you've got a table for 4, you'll have 4 induction heaters, and then you'll have a center stainless steel grill
Mhm.
that is fired up. And you can choose to either do hot pot or barbecue or both. And they're usually a buffet with an all-in price. And they're not too bad. It's like $35, I think, per person.
Okay.
And they give you an iPad and you can order from that. And they also have like a buffet set up somewhere else that has like other things that you can bring, like vegetables and fruits and other fried goodies that are not good for you. And you basically choose your different meats or vegetables or noodles and your broth. And they come out, they set it up, and then there's a cart that rolls around and drops off like, oh, here's pork, here's chicken, here's beef, here's ribeye, blah, blah, blah. And you just basically, if you're doing the hot pot, it's like thinly sliced meat.
Mhm.
You dump it in your broth and you cook it that way. And then you eat it off that. Same thing, like you can order ramen noodles, dump it in your broth, cook the noodles that way. And then, eat it off that. Or if you're doing something that is barbecue, drop it into the middle of the table, watch that sizzle, and cook yourself a thin piece of meat, either it's pork, chicken, steak, whatever it is.
Sounds like it's very similar to if you remember the restaurant The Melting Pot in Naperville?
Kind of, but without the fondue element.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like melting pot meets like Mongolian grill. If
That's what I was kind of thinking. Like closest thing would be kind of like Mongolian grill, but almost at your table, but without the giant grill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But there's
Okay.
a chain. It's called K-Pot, KPOT, and they have a bunch around. At least I've seen them on kind of all over the place. Let me see. There's one in, where is this? There's one in Chicago Ridge.
Okay. That's not too far from here.
Yeah. And there's a few that are obviously in Milwaukee area. So, but there's the style is same. Oh, there's a bunch actually down by me in Charlotte area. So that's like I've seen it before. But yeah, it's a Korean barbecue. It's delicious. And I would say fun for the whole family, but you do not have to have a family to enjoy it.
Gotcha. Hey, that's fair.
Yeah. So that was that trip. And then you and I were going to try and sync up, but we never did actually cross paths, even though you were in Milwaukee and I was about, I don't know, I'm not sure how many miles Wauwatosa is from Milwaukee, but 10, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes
not
the most.
not that far.
Yeah.
And yeah, unfortunately, I had a business review with a restaurant concept that ran late. We didn't finish till almost 2:30
Lame.
that day. Yeah, totally lame. But I will shout them out. Bel Air Cantina, which there is the location in Wauwatosa. Very good. Lots of good. I would say street tacos type stuff. They have salads and things like that too, but they're street tacos. A lot of different varieties and flavors, and they do all the beef, chicken, pork, seafood, all kinds of fun stuff. So yeah, it was good. I mean, we had lunch and all that, and yeah, really good. So
What's the name of the place?
Bel Air Cantina.
All right. Well, if they want to sponsor an episode, I can be paid in tacos.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they have 6 locations, 5 of them in and around Milwaukee, and then one up in Green Bay. So
Boo.
we won't talk about the Green Bay one.
Yeah, I'm not going to support that.
No.
Yeah, so I was on a trip, came home, and then here we are over the weekend. I have a momentous event taking place this week, this Thursday, June, what is that, 11th? What is Thursday?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, Thursday,
June 11th.
June 11th
At 11:30 a.m. Eastern time.
2026.
What's that?
2026, June 11th at 11:30 a.m. What is happening?
Yes. It will have been almost a year since I started this, and that is I finally will be surrendering the Polestar 3.
No. Wow, I know we haven't talked about that in a while.
For legal reasons, I have not been able to mention it.
I was going to haven't been able to talk about it, but now you can talk about it?
I don't know if I can or not, but I can share that I sent an email to my lawyers last week from Milwaukee or whatever, and was like, hey, what is going on here? I cited I signed the paperwork for the surrender in December. So it's been like 5 months or whatever it's been. And part of the paperwork was the closing needed to take place within 60 days. And it hasn't taken place. And I had reached out in March. What's going on? Still haven't heard anything, blah, blah, blah. So I reached out again. And I was firmer this time with also citing the contract. And lo and behold, I sent that probably at like 10 o'clock at night. And at 5 in the morning, I got an email saying someone from the office would call me. And then immediately got things going, and they gave me the number of the person to call. I set up the appointment. All right, Thursday, let's do it. Like that's as soon as I can be, because I have to drive it to Charlotte, which is 2.5 hours away from me, and so it's not convenient at all. But yeah, Thursday will be the end of the Polestar saga for me.
Wow. All right, so how do you feel about it?
Relieved that it will finally be over. And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
I mean,
there's no sadness. There's no
sadness. Look, I gave it a shot. It's a nice vehicle when it works.
Yeah.
It's the year 2026, and I should not have to add as a clause to any statement when it works to a vehicle.
I agree with you there. So I know we've discussed potential replacements. Have you nailed down a replacement yet.
I have not, but that's only because orders for the Rivian R2 have not opened up yet. And I have reservations for 2 of them. The first orders are supposed to go live Tuesday, June 9th, I mean.
Okay.
So I don't know where I am in like the order queue. I have a deposit from a couple years ago, which hopefully will put me towards the top of the list. But that's the plan. Is I will replace my Polestar with a Rivian R2, assuming that it comes in the next few months. So we'll have one car already, a Rivian R1S, which is fantastic. The R2 is the smaller version of that. Looks awesome. It'll be a launch edition, so like 3.6 seconds to 60.
Sure. Yeah.
And other ridiculous stats, but yeah.
Now, are you replacing you mentioned 2 of them. Are you replacing the other one with that as well?
Yeah, so the lease on the Rivian we already have is up in December. And so the plan is that I don't know if we'll keep it or switch to another R1S, the bigger SUV.
Yeah.
Or if we'll switch to the R2. That'll be kind of a game time decision as to how that comes about. But yeah, I've got 2. And they're refundable deposits. It's $100. So
okay.
If we decide not to order the second one, I just cancel the order and get my money back on that. But I'm excited because June 9th is a big day for Rivian. That's like this is like their mass market vehicle.
Sure.
So Rivians are expensive. They're definitely a premium thing. They start somewhere in the 70s and sort of 80s by the time you get things tricked out. You can easily go into 100K.
Oh, I bet.
Which I have not done, but it's still a fantastic vehicle. The R2 is a smaller version, and the tricked out version that has like all the bells and whistles, I believe maxed out is like $57K, which sounds like a lot of money, but the average cost of a new vehicle in the United States is $50,000.
Yeah, and with the money you save on gas, oil changes, all that jazz, it
and
probably
maintenance
works out to be pretty good.
Yeah, there's no there's barely any maintenance on EVs, but yeah, $57,990 unless you want a color other than silver for it, which is fine. I like the silver color. I think it looks good.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm excited to hopefully be in the R2 club in the next couple months. Otherwise, we'll just roll with one car.
What's the turnaround on it?
No idea. Like I said, orders to customers start this Tuesday, like the first deliveries and stuff like that. So they've done actually a really good job from like a marketing aspect of really kind of hitting their marks. Assuming that things go live as they're supposed to on Tuesday, they've done a phenomenal job of bringing a new vehicle to the U.S. market, a new model. They're still a startup, essentially. Rivians are not all over the place yet. They're kind of like where Tesla was when their Model 3 came out a few years ago. And so this is sort of like their Model 3, Model Y moment where, okay, now they've got a vehicle that is much more approachable from a price standpoint. Still is a killer vehicle, over 300 miles of range. It has all the self-driving stuff, for not to the same level as a Tesla, but it has those same similar capabilities as like hands-off, steering and stuff like that. And so this will be kind of a make or break point for Rivian. And so if they execute on this to the way that they've already executed the rollout and the release of this vehicle, this will be the thing that sets them up for success.
Yeah, I see them. I don't see a lot of them, but I do see them. And I think I've told you this. I have ridden in one before, and yeah, they are super nice.
Yeah, they're nice. They're utilitarian, designed for kind of off-road and sort of a working vehicle, but it's just solid, man. It's a lot of fun.
The one time I rode in it, I felt like I was riding in a rocket ship. I seriously did. And it just because of all the gadgets and, the ease of, it's basically what, an iPad type thing, screen. And then that dude hit the gas or whatever. Well, obviously no gas, but hit whatever the hell he hit. And we like took off.
Yep.
And we were up to 90 miles an hour in no time. So yeah.
That's an EV for you. They're all quick. Some are a little quicker than others, but they're all quick, which is the fun part of it.
Yeah, but it's like there was some. I felt like there was some G-force to it. So
yeah, for sure. If you're not used to it, you can definitely still feel it in your stomach. when you hit the accelerator, and it's a lot of fun to show off with folks.
Yeah. Well, I remember riding yours the one time, and yeah, we took off the one time, and I was like, "Whoa, yeah."
Yeah, you can get in trouble pretty quickly, but it's a lot of fun.
I can imagine.
So I'm looking forward to that. My hope is that my number for the R2 will come up sooner rather than later, and it'll happen. Otherwise, we'll just kind of roll with one vehicle until that happens, or at least until I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, right.
Whichever comes first. But I'm on the road starting next week for like 8 weeks straight, and so I've got time.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to Vegas, and then I'm home, but I'm home kind of on PTO for 50th birthday activities around here for my darling wife.
Ah.
And so friends and family will be kind of coming in, sweeping through town and doing things like that. And then we head to Chicago area for funeral stuff. And then I come back. I think I might be home the week after July 4th, but I'm not sure. And then I'm going to a conference in Raleigh. And then I'm going to MC my first conference in New York City the week of July 20 something, whatever that is. So I will be the main person like running this conference.
The keynote or whatever? Or?
I don't know if I'll do a keynote, but I'll be sort of the master of ceremonies and sort of coordinate everything. I'll be hosting fireside chats in quotation marks, on stage and things like that. So I've never done it before, but I actually they reached out to me on LinkedIn and say, "Hey, would you be interested? Like your podcast?" And hey, I've never done this before, but I'm willing to give it a shot if you are. And they're a new conference coming to the US. And so, it's going to help them break into the market. So it's like, yeah. And they're paying me for it too.
Say, do you get paid for that?
Yeah. I'm just going to have them make a donation to my nonprofit, but, yeah. So kind of excited / nervous about that one just because I've never emceed before that, but,
is that multiple days?
It's just one day. So it's like all day, like 8 a.m. to like 5 p.m.
Okay.
And so if it runs the way I think it will, it'll be sort of me sort of welcoming people to the conference.
Yeah.
Setting the stage, introducing, speakers, and then probably moderating a few different panels, throughout the day, with questions to ask those people. And it's all stuff that's in my industry. So shouldn't be a problem. It's just more of like I said, new conference, haven't done it before, hopefully I don't look like an ass doing it.
So it's not like you're hosting the Oscars where you got to come up with an opening monologue and come up with a bunch of jokes about people in the audience and that kind of thing. And then
no, I saved that for this. Yeah. So that's kind of cool getting to get that done. I mentioned I'll be in Vegas, so we'll be doing a game show for my other podcast there. And we have lined up a bunch of prizes. So what we did was we sent out an email to some of our prior sponsors for that and said, hey, we'd like to give away some prizes. We're kind of looking for things that are like, $200, or more in sort of value, right? Doesn't have to be cash. We don't want it to be cash. Like it should be something.
Yeah.
And so we've already got like 10 different sponsors that are lined up for it.
Okay.
And they're all like, yeah, we're in. Like here, we're going to do a $250 gift card to this. One's like, yeah, we'll do like a 3D printer.
Oh, no kidding.
I've got to come up with something for my company. And I'm like, hey, we should be like the top, prize. So I kind of have a budget of like $500 or $600 that I can play with. It's like, all right, well, what would you want to win at a conference? Like if you were there, it's a tech conference, what would be a kind of a cool gift? Because I have some ideas that I can run by you, or if you just tell me off the cuff, like, what do you think?
Yeah, God, I don't know if I'm the right guy to ask, only because I don't even know what's available.
Well, here's what I have so far.
Okay.
And these are all options. Apple Watch, Apple AirPods Max, the nice over-ear ones, a Samsung Galaxy Watch, if, not everyone's in the Apple ecosystem, an Aura ring, so like the wearable, like what I'm wearing right now. A little health tracker, a Whoop life band, another one I'm wearing right now as a test. That tracks like your sleep and your heart rate and like all that stuff. Google Fitbit Air, which is another one that just came out. Some Sonos speakers, so like Bluetooth speakers, for whatever. Meta Quest, so the VR, headset type.
I was going to mention the VR, either the VR or a really nice set of AirPods. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What else I have on here? a solo stove pie prime bundle. So I was trying to think, because I always think of like electronics, but I was like, oh, well, I don't know if you're familiar with solo stoves. Those are like those bonfire things you can get like they're like in the stainless steel,
Okay.
whatever, but they make a pizza oven also. And so this is like a outdoor pizza oven thing that is there.
Okay.
A drone, a nice Yeti cooler, Nintendo Switch. If I can get more money, a MacBook Neo, which is like the hot new laptop from Apple, which is $600 or $700. So I'm trying to think about like what is it that my company wants to give away to hopefully be like, oh yeah, that's a killer prize.
Yeah. I think you got a lot of great options
What am I
there.
missing though? Like, what is something? Jay, you're the everyman. What would you like? Oh, that's kind of cool.
Um, I mean, you could always,
Here's the rules, by the way. It's a conference with a global audience, and so we have to be able to have it be available wherever the person's coming from or going to. So ship it to them, and it has to be, obviously safe for work and right things like that are appropriate.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, maybe the latest and greatest iPhone or Android, whatever.
Those are too expensive. Those are like in the $1,000 at this point.
Yeah. Um, I like the VR idea. I like the AirPods idea. I like the MacBook idea. I mean, those are all practical, things that people need and people use. And
Mhm.
if you're I don't know what an Aura ring goes for, but I don't know. For me,
It's
that's
$400 to
more.
$500.
I mean, is that more of a novelty type thing? I mean, is that really? I mean, I
I mean,
don't know.
it's like a Fitbit, right? I mean, I think it's
Yeah,
great. I like mine. I've been wearing mine for almost a year now since I got
sure,
it. Now I'm always trying out little, gadgets and stuff like that.
right.
But an Aura ring is $400 to $500.
A nice set of speakers is always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think any one of those things would really. I can't imagine what you're missing that's going to fit your budget.
Yeah, I feel like it's very heavy electronics. I'm trying to find like other things. And so I asked my wife last night, we're kind of sitting on the couch, like, what about this? And it's like, she has cool ideas, but they're not like available globally. Like, hey,
Yeah, I mean, you
tickets
could
to this
talk.
show or this restaurant. It's like, yeah, but the person could be coming from Canada or, Europe somewhere or Asia. It's like, that's not gonna translate.
Yeah, I know you mentioned a Yeti. You find like a nice wine cooler, like actual or wine refrigerator or
Mm.
whatever. Um, yeah, I mean, the techiest microwave or whatever. I mean, you're looking for appliances too. I mean, those are still electronic, but practical stuff. So yeah, anything along those lines. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I have to figure it out this week. And then like I don't have to like have the device. I think what it'll be is like, hey, here's what we decided. Are we good? Does this fit within the budget that we're willing to do? Great. And then, I'll be on stage and I'll announce it. And
Yeah,
okay, our top prize is this, and congratulations, blah blah blah. So it's a fun event. I think people will enjoy it. They've enjoyed it in the past, and so we're kind of kicking off the sort of like opening the Expo Hall at this conference. So
nice. And
yeah,
yeah, no, I bet you do a great job. So
yeah, we'll see. It's a lot of work.
I've seen it. Hey man, I've seen your stuff on LinkedIn. I'm always impressed.
No, I appreciate that. Something you haven't seen on LinkedIn is we just crossed over 2 million downloads.
Wow.
So I'm working on I'm trying to figure out what to do for like a audio video sort of, video announcement type thing around it. But yeah, we just crossed over to 2 million Friday, I think it was.
I feel like your path to 2 million didn't take that long from 1 million because I
You are
remember talking
correct.
about 1 million
Yeah. It took
not
us
all that
7
long.
years to get to, it took us about 6 years to get to, for our first million.
Yeah,
And
and
yeah,
then how long did it take to get to two?
um, about a year, a little less than a year.
Less than a year. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we're
that's
doing like
amazing.
100,000 downloads a month right now, which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I still don't
wow.
understand how that works, but it is what it is.
I just want to get to 50,
I
man.
know, right?
Hey, we gained one. That's all. That's really all that matters.
That's it. That's all that matters. Yeah. Um, so a lot of
And then
lot
what
of
we
stuff going on in the professional life,
nice.
but it's going all right. I just need people to sign deals. If you need any security consulting in your life, or help with whatever, ping me.
I'll shoot your name out there as often as I can.
Yeah.
However, I would tell you in the food business, doesn't come up all that often.
You'd be surprised,
Oh, I'm
big,
sure. I'm
big
sure it's
food
out there. It's just
companies. Yeah.
not in my area.
Yeah.
So
I get it. So that's what I got going on. But I'm very excited that I will be, one less car by the time we talk next on this show. I will
yeah.
be, hopefully gone with the Polestar unless something comes up.
Well, I will tell you, I know you said you're not upset about it or any of that, but it's too bad because I know you were hyping that thing pretty hard when it did work. And
when it works, it's awesome.
yeah, exactly. So, and hopefully for them, they get things figured out and are able to stay in the market and all that stuff. But,
Yeah, they're backed by a giant Chinese brand, Geely or Geely. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. So they'll be fine. It's the same company that owns Volvo.
Okay.
So I think they'll figure it out at some point. But was not my experience and have kind of lost me at this point.
Sure.
Who knows? They'll come up with something sexy in the future and be like, oh, let me try that again. And I will absolutely not have learned my lesson about I clearly haven't, because I'm going to get, my plan is to get a first model year Rivian with this new R2 model, which I know there will be bugs, but I have way more confidence in Rivian from a software standpoint to like fix any problems sooner rather than later.
Sure. That's fair.
So yeah. Do we want to talk football?
Let's talk some football. We got a couple of things going on locally, nationally. So yeah, want to talk to Bears Stadium?
I still can't believe that they're actually going to move to Indiana.
Well, I'm tell you what, I'm not 100% sold on it just yet. I think it's still a negotiating ploy because now, from what I understand, the Illinois Congress or whatever you would call it, they weren't going to have a special session, but now apparently they might. And now apparently Chicago might even be back on the table, but there's really no site. And, obviously Arlington. If I were the Bears, for me, from a business standpoint, the Hammond, Indiana deal is a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
Just based on the money and the money they would save. And also, honestly, as an Illinois taxpayer, I have no interest in putting any dollars into their new stadium. I don't think, again, I've said this before, one of the few things I agree with the governor on is the fact that I don't think billionaire owners need to get loans from the public for $billion stadiums.
Yeah, I agree.
They don't. It's not, I'm sorry. And I agree that the state of Illinois is not in the business of funding sports stadiums, and they shouldn't be. They never should be. Indiana is run a little differently. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but apparently they have like $1 billion available to basically hand over to help get this project done. And if you're the Bears, I don't know,
is coming from new taxes.
Yeah.
On food, beverage, hotel, and an admissions tax, whatever that looks like, to go to things. So the taxes are being raised for people who are, I'm assuming, I don't know if it'll be a statewide thing or if it'll be, I guess it says new local food and beverage taxes.
Yeah.
So anybody going to a Bears game is essentially going to be contributing to the tax that is funding that $1 billion. So that means Chicago fans who are going across the border to the Bears game are going to be paying extra via these taxes.
Yeah, I mean,
not people in the state of Indiana, unless they're going to the Bears game either. Now, we'll see if that holds true or not, but it seems almost like it's the worst of every option.
Now, for a little context here, Hammond is not that far. I mean, it is literally
25 miles of like southeast of downtown. So you're right.
It is, it is literally right over it's like the first town that's over the area. It is not the most beautiful area. That is true. But it is closer to downtown than Arlington Heights is.
Yep.
Hammond is still considered the Chicago area. They, they listen to Chicago news, they watch Chicago TV, they, all that stuff. So it's not like it's that big of a stretch. But some people are just so up in arms about the fact that the Bears wouldn't be playing in Illinois. And it's like, well, we've talked about it. The Jets and Giants play in New Jersey. Was it the 49ers, while they're still in California, play like 40 miles away?
Yeah, Santa Clara is not close at all to San Francisco.
I think the Chiefs' new deal is that they're playing in Missouri or something like that, where their new stadium's going to be built. So, teams do this, and it's really not that big a deal. I mean, you just get over it. It's still the Chicago area Bears. It's the Chicago Bears. They're not the Illinois Bears. It's the Chicago Bears. So I don't think it's a big deal. And if I'm the Bears, I'm jumping at that deal. I think the problem that they've had is just how long it's taken. They put in their letter of intent to buy the Arlington Heights property 5 years ago and closed on it, like, I think over 3 years ago. And it's just been sitting there. Obviously they'll sell it. Obviously they'll get money for it. And obviously it's gained value and stuff, but right now it's a dead asset to them, and everybody thought, well, yeah, that's where the stadium will go. But the truth of the matter is, I think the Hammond site actually has more space, not by a ton, but there is more space there. And everybody's crying, well, there's no metro stop there. Actually, there is a train station in Hammond that's not that far from where they're looking at. So all the infrastructure and all the transit issues that people are talking about going to Indiana, it's really not that big a deal. It's really, not that hard to get there.
But you're talking logically.
I know, and God forbid.
It's
from
still,
a business sense, I think it's a no-brainer.
But still, the Bears playing in Indiana just feels wrong and feels dirty.
Yeah, it's a lot of people are very sour on that, and my son's one of them. And I don't know. I guess me personally, I don't think it's that big a deal, but a lot of people do. So
now, what if the Bears were playing in Racine or Kenosha?
Well, that was brought up as well. What if that was the case? And how would people feel about that? Is it a different story because it's up in Wisconsin and that's where the Packers play and all that? Is there any difference to that? I mean, people are crying that, if they move to Hammond, they could no longer be the pride and joy of Illinois. That's in their song.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
So it's, yeah. But again, the dollars, if you don't have to put the burden onto the taxpayers of Illinois, then let them go. Let them go. They still haven't paid off the renovations that they did to Soldier Field 20 years ago. They owe millions on that.
Yeah.
So, and how that's the case, I have no idea, because I would assume that the Bears are a pretty profitable business. But
yeah, none of these billionaires are losing money on this.
No, and if they really wanted to, I'm sorry, if the McCaskies walked into any major bank and said, hey, will you loan us this money to build the stadium? Any bank would say absolutely, because it's not like they're, hurting, or, again, like you said, these billionaires don't lose money. And I realize the McCaskies are one of the lowest. They have one of the lowest net worth of all NFL owners, but because football and the Bears are their sole business, they don't do anything else. The Bears is what they do. That's it. Where a lot of these owners have other ventures that they're into. So,
well, I'm gonna cry poor for a family that's like worth $1 to $5 million or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
No, I don't either.
Yeah,
I don't either. So, but God, it's just become such an old story. Once they finally do break ground, it's going to take another at least 3 years to build something. And apparently the Hammond site isn't even ready for development yet. So that's going to take time to get it actually construction ready. So yeah, I'm telling you, looking at a new Bears stadium before 2030 easily,
Oh
if
yeah.
not further than that.
Like they
So,
have to do environmental studies, like
oh
all this
yeah,
stuff has to take place. There may even be lawsuits challenging it.
oh
I
yeah.
mean,
So I'm sure people will, hopefully in that time frame change their mind or forget about it or not worry about it anymore. It is what it is. Whatever. I don't care. Hell, I could be 60 before they get it done. Who knows?
yeah, I mean, who knows how it's gonna break out, but it just feels like I don't feel good about it. And the fact that it's coming now when the Bears are finally showing some signs of life, it's like,
Yeah,
really?
I get it. I do. I understand that point. Like people are like, oh man, we're starting to be relevant again, and now potentially going to move. But that again, it's not going to be for another at least 4 years. I don't think because, like I said, there's just too much stuff to do. So who knows what this team's going to look like in 4 years?
Yeah.
We have no idea.
Well, I mean, I guess good on Pritzker for sticking to the guns about not wanting this to be paid for by,
Yes.
residents, which I agree with. But I still think it is a big stain on legacy as being the mayor, the governor, the whatever that
Yeah.
let the Bears leave the state of Illinois.
100%. 100%. So yeah, Pritzker and Mayor Johnson. Yeah, they'll always, no matter what they did before and what they do going forward, they will always be known as the two that let the Bears get away.
Yep.
So, and that's the legacy they'll have, no matter what. So
Well, it just sucks.
it does. Yeah, it does. I I don't
Well,
think I don't think it's that big a deal, but for some it is. So
you're talking about a franchise that's been there forever,
oh yeah,
and to go to a rival state, which Indiana is isn't great. I mean, there's
yeah.
a whole thing of like, okay, well, if the Bears move to Indiana, does this end up being a trigger for people to change fandom where they're
For
not going to be
some,
Bears fans anymore?
it could. I mean, I don't. Where are they going to go? I mean, it's not like
Arizona,
Chicago's. They're not going to get another team.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, the Bears obviously have always been in Illinois. They were born in Decatur Staleys, years ago, and they played at Wrigley Field for a while, and then they've been at Soldier Field for years.
yep,
But we've always said they need a bigger place to play. They need a better place to play. I mean, the Chicago area would be awesome as a host of a Super Bowl. It'll never happen if they stay here.
yeah.
Um, the grass on Soldier Field sucks. It always sucks, and they don't control that. The Park District does. So, and you don't.
Politics, like this could have this. I feel like this is a problem that should never even come to pass.
I agree. I agree, but I think there's major advantages to owning your own stadium, and they don't, and they can't. So,
I mean, it doesn't sound like they're going to own this stadium either, though.
well, not for a while, but they'll have controlling interest on it. But they can't. They have to go to the park district for anything they want to do to it.
Mhm.
So they have to get approval to replant the grass every so often.
Yeah, but I feel like that should just be formalities at this point. But
It
it's
probably
politics
is.
that are getting in the way of doing the right thing.
It probably is. But I think you like to have full control of that
Are they
stuff.
going to own this stadium though?
Yeah, I believe so.
Interesting. Okay. So I feel like this maybe opens the door for, let's call it 10, 15, 20 years from now. Like someone says it's time for Chicago to have a football team again. And a new franchise starts in Chicago. What do you think?
I don't know if
An
well,
expansion team of some sort. Or some other team decides to relocate from a
move
smaller
there.
market to get to the Chicago market and try to do a Jets Giants types thing.
I think you need to wait and see. how the public reacts to this, because obviously, as of right now, I mean, yeah, we have the Cubs and the Sox and all that stuff, but this is a Bears town. So you could not put a second NFL team in Chicago right now. You
Not
just
right
could.
now. No. That's why I think
So,
this is in the future.
yes, no, I know, I understand. So I think you need to wait and see how many people jump ship. How do they react once the team actually leaves? If they actually leave. Um, do people actually not go to the games?
Yeah.
Do
Do they
people
follow through with all the things they're saying now?
Yeah, do they not support the team, or is it just all talk? I think it's a wait and see. Um, do I think Chicago could support 2 teams ultimately? Yeah, they support 2 baseball teams. One better than the other, obviously, but they do it, and I think Chicago's big enough to where they could. I mean, LA has 2 teams, New York has 2 teams, and I think Chicago is the 3rd largest market in the country.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I think they could ultimately, but it depends on how many people would support it. How many people would, you know what? I don't like the Bears anymore. I'm going to go, support the Chicago, whatever.
Mhm. Or they
Like
just
what if,
don't follow the NFL at all anymore.
yeah, which, well, I don't, yeah, I don't know.
They may switch to a college team or something like that instead.
Maybe, maybe they become diehard Northwestern fans or diehard Illini fans
Mhm.
or, you know, all that. And then they could use Soldier Field for college games, high school games, all that. I don't know.
I mean, they used it for a friendly soccer match recently. I watched one just yesterday. I think that I don't
Oh,
remember who it was.
USA
It was
Germany.
USA
Yeah, that's
versus
right.
Germany.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they could still do a lot there. I mean, you could still have obviously outdoor concerts there. I mean, there's only 2 places in Chicago to have an outdoor concert, and that's Soldier Field and Wrigley Field, and that's it.
Hmm. Well, you could also
So
do Millennium Park.
yeah, but I'm talking major. If you got,
Hmm.
say a Taylor Swift or a Metallica that comes to town, you need one of those 2 places. You don't,
Yeah,
Millennium Park unfortunately isn't big enough for that.
I think it's bigger actually. It's just it's not
Maybe
seated,
space
right?
wise,
It's
but
all lawn
you can't
space.
see. Well,
I mean,
well,
they have some
Metallica played.
seats by the band shell and stuff like that, but
Yeah, I mean Metallica played Lollapalooza a few years ago, and I remember watching the YouTube, and I mean, people it looked
oh
like
yeah,
it was
it's
full
packed.
for miles.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it
do
just
like a Lady Gaga and play on a beach in South America and get like 1 million people to show up for that.
yeah. I remember watching the Stones back in it was like 95 or 96, and it was before Soldier Field was renovated, and that was awesome. So a concert in Soldier Field is awesome. I've only the Rolling Stones. They're the only band I've seen there. I've seen them twice there, but I mean they were both what 25 and 30 years ago. So I don't know what a concert's like there now. Probably pretty good.
I can't imagine. I mean, I guess it's fine, but an outdoor stadium just doesn't feel right, like from an acoustics standpoint.
Um,
But maybe I'm just overthinking it. It's fine.
I remember it sounded pretty good. What I really liked about the old stadium, and I don't know if you could get this feel with the way Soldier Field is designed now, but I remember seeing the Stones, and we were sitting near the top, and because we were on the lakefront side, you could see the skyline.
Hmm.
But like you were right up in the skyline basically during the concert, and that was pretty
That's
cool.
cool.
So,
But you're also left to the mercy of the weather, and Chicago is famous
oh,
for
for sure. Yeah, I
not
mean,
having a
granted, this
great
was in
weather.
the middle of summer. They don't do concerts in the wintertime out
Yeah.
here.
But even the summer is a crapshoot. Rain,
Oh
humidity,
yeah,
like
for
it's
sure,
not a comfortable environment.
for sure. But I mean, we'll see how this thing develops as things move along. I mean, yeah, it was breaking news a couple days ago that the Bears said they were going to pursue it, but they didn't totally commit to it. They just
Yeah, the
said,
language was like extremely, like, it was worded very carefully, but made it seem like, yeah, we're moving forward with this. But
Yeah, that basically saying, okay, state of Illinois, we're inching a little closer away. So are you going to come get us or not? So who
so what
knows?
happens if somehow a deal gets made to keep them in Illinois? but it raises taxes. Is that a non-starter? Like, would you be pissed that they do that to
I'd
keep
be
the Bears in
irritated.
Illinois?
Yeah, I'd be irritated. Because let's face it, if they raised, I mean, obviously it's got to be local taxes. I mean, it can't be statewide taxes.
Right.
Why would somebody down in Carbondale want to pay for
Exactly.
a beer? Yeah, but
Well, which is basically how this is getting done right now. It's
right,
local taxes in Hammond.
right. I guess it depended on where the tax money came from. You know, is it just the city of Chicago? Is it Cook County?
Well, if it's local
Um,
taxes, it would be attendees, people who are going to the game, staying in the hotels, eating in the restaurants.
right.
It's
I
the
mean, let's
fans
be
who are
honest.
paying for it.
Right. Let's be honest. You know, most people that go to the games live in the suburbs. They don't live in the
Right.
city.
Yeah.
So, you know, those are the people that are paying for it. So you could argue that, yeah, Cook County, DuPage County, Will County, all those counties, you know, could have a piece of it. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. I know it would irritate me if my tax dollars went towards the stadium. That would irritate me.
But if it was a local tax, you'd be okay with it.
Well, yeah, because it wouldn't be me.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Hey, I listen to WIFM. What's in it for me?
All right.
So there.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens, I guess.
What do you think? I mean, you don't live here, but what do you think?
I don't. I definitely don't agree with a blanket tax affecting all citizens to pay for this thing. I think even if you are a lesser billionaire than other billionaires, you are still a billionaire, and you should be able to figure that out. Now, if there are some incentives or something like that that make financial sense to keep somebody somewhere, whether it is, deferment of taxes, or we think it's going to raise employment, or, maybe raises, the minimum wage for a certain area, those are also other things to think about as well. But I would say, no, I'm not in favor of, a blanket tax. Now, if it's a local tax, okay, I don't know enough how that works, but I just feel like it's the Chicago Bears. It's not the Hammond Bears.
That's fair. Yeah,
And
sure.
it's not a logical argument other than, really, like, this is how it's going to happen. It's because politics got in the way and billionaires couldn't figure out how to get this done. Like, it's not, I feel like this is 100% a billionaire problem that somehow ends up being the common person's problem. Billionaires aren't going to these games. It's all the fans. It's the 50, 60,000 people that want to go to a Bears game, which means it's you, it's me. We're the ones that are paying for that. Now we're going to have to pay more to go to that event because of these extra taxes going to it. I'm not going to go to a Bears game unless, my company got me tickets, or if, it's expensive or something, like I wouldn't pay for it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get Sunday ticket. I'll spend my $3 or $350, whatever it is per year, and they'll get me for that. But I feel like that's way more palatable for me, especially being out of market for sure, but to be able to watch all the Bears games.
See, I agree with everything you said, and I'm in market. I don't go to games either.
Right.
I can create a better experience for myself sitting on my couch in my house where it's always warm. The food and beverages are always available, and the bathroom's right around the corner. Yeah. I just don't feel the need to go to games and freeze my ass off. And, I don't find that enjoyable. I just don't.
Oh, I'm with you. Like, it's a sport that is designed almost, to be TV first.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, obviously, it didn't start like that, but with the way the game is played now, game of inches, replays, different camera angles, you can't tell me I've been to Soldier Field, I've been to multiple games there. You can't see shit half the time.
No.
Because the action is taking place on the other side of the field, or you happen to look away for a second, right? And you've got, sure, you can watch replays on the scoreboards and things like that, but it's not the same. Right. Now, I wish TV would follow more of a Madden camera viewpoint instead of that bullshit side angle that you can't see the field.
Right.
One of the reasons why I like Amazon Prime, like they have their next gen stats version of the broadcast. Yeah. They show from behind the quarterback. You can kind of see the field and actually see when people are getting open and, see more of the action. So could TV be better? Yeah, but it's still way better. It's still way better, I think, as a true fan of the sport to watch it on TV.
Yeah, no, I agree
I get it.
100%.
You want to be in the stadium. You want to be part of that environment. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just personal. That's just a personal preference for me. I
Yeah.
mean, I know a lot of people who love going to the Bears games and they love being there and they love hearing the crowd and being part of the action and seeing it
It's an
all live.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, and hey, that's cool. I just prefer it in my house. So
Yeah. And I've done it. It's fine. It's great. Would I do it again? Sure. Absolutely. Depending on the price. I mean, tickets are crazy expensive now. I'm not sure what, I sometimes will shout out ticket prices when we're going through the NFL season of, hey, you can go to this game for $7, right? I look at, just sports in general has gotten so expensive. With the playoffs and the NBA, Knicks tickets for Madison Square Garden are like for $7,000 to go see a basketball game.
Wow, that's right now for the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I mean, it's New York, obviously a major market, and there's a lot of celebrity fans and things like that. But again, I feel like this is, billionaires,
Yeah.
not, they're doing all the tricks. They didn't get to be billionaire because they were good. And, that they were like altruistic. They were smart with their money and they knew how to play the game.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I would expect nothing less from billionaire owners of the Bears to do the same thing. I mean, like I said, that's why they brought Kevin Warren in. I don't think it's a good look for Kevin Warren if they end up in Hammond, but I don't know if necessarily the McCaskies care about that.
No, I don't think it's a good look for him either. But I also don't think it's a good look for him to keep saying, he said we're going to have shovels in the ground by the end of 2025. Didn't happen. He keeps saying things are going to happen and they don't happen, not on time. So, and I think he's been the Bears president now for like a year and a half. And his primary function during that entire time was to get the stadium deal done. And it hasn't happened yet. Now, his argument would be, hey, I'm trying to get you the best deal. And it's taking some time, and this is what I do. I negotiate, this and work the parties against each other until whoever breaks and gives you the best deal. So I get that, but it's just taking a long time to get this done. So
I don't like it.
No, I get it. I totally get it. I think I don't prefer it. I will tell you that. I don't think it bothers me maybe as much as it bothers you, but yeah, it'll be sad. It'll be definitely sad if that's the way they choose to go ultimately. But
I mean,
I'll still watch.
It'll have
I'll
very
still
little
watch them.
effect.
They're still my squad. I'm not going to change my allegiance over it, but some people will.
Yeah, some people will. It doesn't affect me in the slightest because I don't go to the games. I don't live in the market. I'm going to watch it on TV. It's just going to feel weird to call the Chicago Bears when they actually play in Hammond. and maybe that's just me being, old school, conservative, when it comes to this kind of thing. It's like, okay, well, that's just, my feelings on it. I don't like it, but I understand this is the way the business goes now.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Oh, I know.
By a long shot. So.
Yeah. Well,
we'll see.
Yeah. The other new Bears news, did you hear about Caleb Williams and his new thing?
Yeah, he's the Madden cover boy.
How do you feel about that, considering that, there has historically been a Madden curse, but it is really not so much a curse. I guess it's not a consistent curse is probably the best way to put it.
Well, it's different because they discussed this on the Score earlier this week, and they were talking about some past Madden cover guys and how things went, and they mentioned Christian McCaffrey and how he had a major injury, and Gronkowski had a major injury afterwards, and Saquon Barkley's production was basically cut in half. So, yeah, there is some history to the curse, but I refuse to think that this is going to affect him, to be honest. I just think that's all coincidence, and, it just happened to happen. I don't see Caleb Williams having a catastrophic regression, due to the fact that he happens to be on the cover of the Madden video game.
Yeah. So it's like I want to say like a 60-40 split between like cursed, not cursed, because there's also some players that had, career years after being it. So like Mahomes won his first Super Bowl. Brady won a Super Bowl. Calvin Johnson set like the single season record for receiving yards, I think it was. So there's been options out there, but let me ask you this. Is this an unnecessary risk by Caleb Williams? Right? Like the same thing where it's like, hey, don't go bull riding, don't do dangerous activities that like every, sport is like, trying to protect their star player. Is being on the cover of Madden considered a dangerous activity?
Dangerous activity. Well, history shows that it could be, but I don't think it's that big a deal. I do think it's cool that he's the story. Let's face it, he is still the story of this league. And the NFL is dying for this guy to be great for whatever reason. I mean, obviously we want him to be great. The Bears want him to be great. The Chicago Bears fans want him to be great. But I feel like the NFL wants him to be great because
he's a good story.
Yeah, he is a good story. And I think the NFL is better when the Bears are good, when the Bears are relevant. And they haven't been relevant for a long time.
Well, I mean, you're talking about the third largest market. And for a team to be, essentially Jets territory for the better part of the last couple decades, like it's not a good look. So yeah, it's good. I hope he's successful. I'm the entire season of the Bears kind of rides on it. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, what they have the Bears playing on Thanksgiving. They have the Bears playing on Christmas. So it's like they are putting the Bears in prime time slots for because they want the nation to watch this team because
they're an exciting team. They're putting up.
They are exciting. Absolutely, they are, or they can be.
Yeah.
I mean,
the way they won last year, right, with all those last second victories.
Yeah, there's a lot of luck involved, obviously. So you want to see them be exciting because they dominate the hell out of the football game. You'd rather see that, but
Bears fans would rather see that, but that's not exciting for the league.
No, it's not.
They want to see what we saw last year, which was stay glued to your TV till the fourth quarter.
Yes.
And watch this miraculous comeback because that's exciting for the game, but it's also people are glued to TVs and they're watching commercials and they're making money off that.
100%.
What do you make of, we didn't really talk about his nickname Iceman and the fact that that's being, I guess, challenged by George Gervin. I think it is, right?
It is.
It is. And so I think Gervin has said, like, no, you can't have that. Get your own nickname.
Did he try to trademark it?
He did, and it got shot down.
Okay. But did George Gervin ever trademark it?
I don't know. But how do you feel about the Iceman nickname, knowing that there's already an Iceman out there? Or can there be two Icemen?
Well, I mean, two different sports, obviously. Two different eras, obviously, roughly what George Gervin played in the 70s and the 80s, early 80s, maybe. So you're talking roughly 50 years apart from one another. I get why Caleb has that nickname. He does not get rattled at all. At least he doesn't seem like it. And yeah, he does play like he's got ice in his veins because he just doesn't freak out, doesn't get nervous or seem nervous or anything like that. So I understand the nickname. I like it. I think it's cool. What is it? He threw the touchdown pass and then did the shiver type thing because he's an Iceman and all that kind of thing. I think it's cool.
So I just looked this up, and yeah, Gervin never trademarked it, but he's been known universally as that since the 70s.
Sure.
Caleb Williams has not rescinded their filings or applications to secure it, so it's still an ongoing. But you know who else has the nickname the Iceman and actually has pre-approved applications?
The Iceman. Okay, go ahead.
Chuck Liddell from the UFC. 2022, really? He has pre-approved applications that could disrupt both of those claims.
I did not know that. Okay. Yeah.
So what happens if Chuck Liddell becomes the Iceman? So let's say Iceman is off the table for Caleb.
I don't know what you'd call him. I don't know what nickname you could come up for him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know, because I mean, there aren't really a lot of NFL nicknames
Yeah. The
out
comeback
there.
kid.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think this is almost like looking for like a website domain name. Is you got to start saying, okay, what's available, and see what's available. For the website. For the trademark filings, right? All that stuff.
Yeah, and a logo obviously
Yeah,
that'll come with
but
it. So
you
sure.
also you can't pick your own nickname. Your nickname has to be given to you. Like that's the rule of nicknames. Like you can't go be like Russell Wilson, like, oh, they call me Danger Russ. Nobody calls you Danger Russ. You
Yeah,
call
that's
yourself Danger Russ.
now. Yeah, I was gonna say, I forget. Did somebody call him Iceman, or did he come up with that?
I
I don't
th-
remember.
I think it came up as like the announcers might have said something and kind of
Okay,
I don't think he started it. That's the thing. It's like I think it kind of came through like the Bears announcers.
sure.
At least that's the first time I remember hearing it. But let's say Iceman is off the table. Like
Was that a Jeff Joniak or a Tom
might
Thayer?
have been. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else you could call him. Uh, yeah, comeback kid, cardiac kid. I don't know. And I've heard them referred to as the cardiac bears. Um, yeah, I don't know.
All
If
right.
you're
I'm
out
gonna
there
ask
listening,
AI.
submit your ideas, because
Yeah. I'd like
I
to hear
like
it.
Iceman. I think it's good.
I think it's okay. Um, I don't. It's almost like a backhanded compliment because why are you Iceman? Because you didn't get shit done in the first three quarters, and now you have to be heroic in the fourth.
Well, I think when things get tough, I mean, you're as cool as ice.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I asked AI to give me nicknames for Caleb Williams if he cannot use Iceman.
Okay,
All right. So here's our ones under Chicago and franchise ties. The Midway Magician,
interesting.
Bear Force
Somewhat
One.
appropriate. Yeah. Okay.
Is it still the Midway if they're in Hammond? Bear Force One.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm. The Savior of Soldier Field. That doesn't ring off the tongue
No,
too easily.
that doesn't just roll off the tongue. And Bear Force One, he'd have to change his uniform number to one, if he was going to take on that, I
Yeah.
think.
Let's see other ones. Play style and demeanor. Sub-Zero. Problem is
Sub-Zero,
there's a Mortal Kombat character called Sub-Zero, so there's
I
probably
like
problems with that.
Sub-Zero. That's solid.
The Illusionist, but there's a movie already around that. Superman, can't use that. The Maestro,
Eh,
yeah. Name and background plays. Hollywood, I don't like that one. A tribute to his Heisman winning days at USC.
nah.
C-Dub, a clean classic initial play that rolls off the tongue.
C-Dub, yeah, okay.
And The Architect,
The Architect.
reflecting his role as the foundational piece, rebuilding the offense from the ground up.
I think the Architect has got to be Ben Johnson.
I think so too.
I
I kind of like the Midway Magician. I think that one's okay.
like Sub-Zero. I think that's solid.
I think Sub-Zero is solid, but problem is it's already trademarked by Midway because of the Mortal Kombat games. Wind Chill, Lake Effect, the L Train, the Alchemist, the Artist, Box Office, because every time he snaps the ball, it's must-see TV.
Oh,
The Eraser, the Sling, Checkmate, C8 for his number and name. The Kid, that's dumb.
nah, I don't
All right, well,
like
AI's, Gemini is not doing a great job here, but I feel like we need to have some backup cards.
There's a couple on there that could work.
So here's what I want you to listen to this year is if you hear the announcers call him different nicknames to see if something sticks.
I know he's been referred to as C-Dub by other players.
Mm.
I know that, or C-Will. I've heard C-Will.
So let's see if the announcers get in on this whole Iceman thing and either keep pushing it Or if they start to figure out, oh, shoot, we probably need to come up with something else. He's not going to win this battle.
Sure. All right. Something to stay tuned for during the season.
Myles Garrett making a Super Bowl run.
Yeah. Do you think that trade makes the Rams the immediate favorite?
I mean, I think it has to, right?
Yeah, I think so. At least in the NFC, for sure.
I think the only wild card that I would have for the Rams is what the heck is going on with Puka Nacua, and if he's going to be a football player or continue to struggle with off the field issues.
Yeah, I can see that
because he's such a big part of their offense.
Yeah, he is. Because Devontae Adams comes back, right?
I don't know. I mean, I think so, but
I assume that he does.
I can look it up and see.
But Myles Garrett just changes everything for them on defense. And I know there's some rumblings that the call has been made to Aaron Donald to be like, hey, you want to come back for one more run? Maybe that's something that could, he's obviously been out of the league for, a couple of years, but, is that somebody you call saying, hey, we could, come around week 7, week 8, you be ready and make the playoff push and all that kind of thing. That'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so what they gave up? What, a first? It was a first round pick next year, a second round pick the following year, and I think a third round pick the following year after that. So 3 draft picks. And then
the Rams
also
got Garrett, and they traded away Jared Verse.
And
then 2027 first round, 2028 second round, and 2029 conditional third.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a win now move.
Verse is a stud.
Verse is good. He was the 2024 Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, so the Rams gave up a fair amount, but and obviously I think it was Verse that actually made the deal happen. Like they were trying to just do it for draft picks, and the Browns said no. But I think that's a great deal for the Rams, man. I mean, they're obviously trying to make one more run with Matthew Stafford, and I know Garrett obviously is under contract, but we talked about, their quarterback situation after Stafford. I don't know if Ty Simpson's, their guy going forward. I mean, they seem to really like him for whatever reason, but we'll see. Do you think the Bears could have made that deal?
I think any team could make any deal, but only the Rams were willing to part with, essentially.
Do you think the Bears could have come up with an equivalent of Jared Verse?
No.
Yeah.
Not even close. That's why we were signing Myles Garrett, because we don't have a Jared Verse.
Yeah, right. So you wonder what the Bears would have had to have done to make that happen. And maybe they didn't have enough to do it.
I mean, who do the Browns need? The Browns need young talent. They would have had to trade somebody like Odunze or, one of their young pieces. And I don't think the Bears have a young person on defense that would be the equivalent. No. So there would probably be a couple of young players, combination of offensive players or defensive players. Or both.
Like would you have traded a Rome Odunze and an Austin Booker type thing and plus the draft picks, or would you have had to throw in more draft picks?
Yeah, I think the price is just too much.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
So what's interesting is that 2029 conditional third round pick that the Browns get is that turns into a first round pick if the Rams ever deal Garrett back to the AFC North, Bengals, Ravens, or Steelers.
Interesting.
So don't expect to see Myles Garrett back in the AFC North, at least for a team playing in the AFC North.
Sure. Yeah. No, I don't see that happening.
Yeah. I mean, they're all in. They're a win now, so sure, why not go for it? Doesn't guarantee anything, but it's like the Dodgers is stack the team with as many good players as you can, and your odds definitely go up.
Yeah, it makes your team better, and yeah, obviously gives you a chance to win. So better, it increases your chance to win. And they weren't that far away from the Super Bowl last year, obviously. Right. So, and you got probably one more year of Matthew Stafford, who arguably had his best season of his career last year. and give them one more run, and then they go from there. So,
Yep.
but having Myles Garrett is awfully nice.
Yeah.
And I learned he's got a pretty good fastball. He threw out the first pitch at a Dodger game the other night and put it right down the pipe pretty hard.
No, all right. So you're a two-sport athlete.
Yeah. So.
What else? I watched some hockey the other night.
Yeah, let's talk a little pucks, man.
So I watched
your local squad is
I watched the Hurricanes versus Golden Knights Saturday night, which is June 6th. That was the game they were down 4-0, came back, and ended up losing in overtime.
Yeah, that game was wild.
It was crazy because at one point, and that game was the most hockey I've watched in probably 2 or 3 years. It was an interesting game. The announcers and everybody kept saying this could be the best series ever, blah, 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 like whatever. At one point it was 4-0 and then it was, 4-4. So a couple things happened in that game that I thought were interesting. One, I think it was in the second period, the Golden Knights had 2 goals called back upon review because of whatever. I'm like, okay. They scored 4 goals. The one dude has a hat trick in like 6 minutes.
Mitch
Barner,
okay,
it's going crazy. Like, all right, like this game is getting way out of hand. They replaced the goalie going into third with new goalie on the Kane side. And it was kind of like ho-hum for the first, I don't know, it felt like 6, 7, 8 minutes. And then all of a sudden it's goal, 3 goals in like 30 some seconds. And then they get I think they get was it the tire on the power play at the end?
Yeah.
There was a power play with like 3 minutes to go and they score there and it's like, oh my gosh, is this a team of destiny, right? They're down 4-0 and they're going to come back and they're going to win this thing in overtime. And they didn't. They lost in overtime. It was second overtime, if I remember, but it was interesting hockey. I will say the one thing that I noticed was extremely poor stick handling.
Yeah, I'll admit I didn't watch the whole game. I watched a lot of it. Like the breakdown of the 4 goals for one team, and then Carolina scores the 4 goals in the last 13 minutes of the third period, which is incredible in its own. And then the first overtime was scoreless, and then we'll talk about the game winner here in a second. But hockey, I've noticed, I think the more I watch it, I think I find the more difficult it is to play.
Oh, I think it's extremely difficult. Yeah.
The guys they move so fast and control it. That puck moves so fast. And because of its shape, it bounces, weird and all that kind of thing. And controlling the puck is not nearly as easy as it might look.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll admit, I bitch about, how do you miss that pass? How does that pass go over your stick and stuff? And it's like, well, yeah, it's extremely difficult to play. And what might look sloppy is just the way the game is, because it's hard to play good, clean hockey all the time. And yeah, that thing bounces all over the place. And keeping control of it is tough.
Yeah, but maybe I'm just spoiled from having, the heyday of watching,
Mm-hmm.
the Blackhawks and having such skilled offensive players. But it just felt like the style of game was this, I don't know what they called it, but like this lob pass idea where it's not like you're trying to ice it, but it's like you're trying to get it sky high and sort of beat your guy down, right? So that icing isn't called. So there's that, but it was also just like I'm watching the stick handling and just like a lot of misplayed. I saw multiple players whiff on like passes.
That does happen a lot, yes.
And it just felt like the stick handling isn't as good as I remember from playoff championship hockey of years past. Now, I don't know if this is just me. Again, I have not followed hockey at all for a long time now, but it just felt like it was a little bit sloppy. And the fact that, again, I saw situations where teams weren't taking shots. Like they just kept like going around and around and around. And it was like, shoot the puck.
Yeah, a lot of teams do that, and I get frustrated with the Blackhawks on it.
Yeah, Blackhawks are terrible at that, especially when they're on a power play. They're going back and forth,
they're always looking for the perfect shot.
Right.
And I'll never forget it. And he says it all the time. If you're familiar with Eddie Olczyk, he says a shot on net is never a bad idea.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, because you never know what's going to happen. And years ago, they used to have this rule in hockey. It was called a 2-line pass. You could not pass the puck over 2 lines. Like you couldn't pass the puck from behind your blue line over the center line.
Right.
Like basically spring a guy. They got rid of that rule years ago. So now you can pass it, you know, as long as your guy's not going off sides, you can shoot for the home run, you know, to spring a guy on a breakaway, that kind of thing. And I think teams try that a lot more often than they probably should, which kind of does make things look sloppy. What I noticed last night was a lot of drop sticks. There were sticks on the ice a lot.
Yeah, there were. And they were on there for a while too.
Yeah, because you know, guys are, once they drop it, they're afraid to like go get it because they're going to lose position, and you know they want to still play defense without a stick, which can be done. But there was one point where it was funny where I think it was the game was in Vegas, so it was the Vegas guy who lost his stick on defense, and he was going to go pick it up, but he had a guy who was on him, and the Carolina player, it looked like it was inadvertent, but I don't think it was all that inadvertent, where he just kind of kicked it further down the ice, and the guy was about to pick it up, and the guy threw his hands up like, what the hell? And the crowd went bananas, like they're all pissed. And I mean, you know, wanting an interference call, they didn't get it. And I'm just like, God, there's sticks all over the place. But then how about the game winner?
Oh.
So slap shot off of the back wall.
Yeah. Hits the back of the goalie's leg and in.
Hit the back of the goalie's leg, and he kicks it in. And again, it's a bad bounce because there was a defenseman right there, and the puck went, I think, through his legs.
Yeah.
And
when I first saw it, I thought it was another own goal, because that was,
I did too.
One of the goals in the second period was an own goal by Carolina. And I was like, it just happened again. And when I saw the replay, and it skipped past it. But again, it was a shot off the backboard, essentially, behind the net, and then it careens in.
Yeah,
what a shitty, heartbreaking way to lose.
The back of his leg, and it was too bad, you know, for a game to go into double overtime and for it to end like that. But yeah, wow, what a crazy game.
Mm-hmm. It was cool. I thought it was over. You know, hats off to the Canes for not packing it in and you know, coming back. But
hey, the series is 2-1, so it's not like, you know, it shouldn't be all that devastating. It was so funny watching the post-game interview. I don't know if you stayed with it.
No, but as soon as the game was over, like, all right, it's like almost 1:00 here. Like, it's time for bed.
Yeah, so they interviewed the guy who scored the game winner, and, you know, crowds go mad, and the guy was obviously tired. And, you know, the reporter just kept throwing questions at him, and he finally said to the reporter, I just want to go home. And then she was like, all right, interview's over.
Yeah. You know, there was an interview earlier in the game. I think it was Marner, the guy who had the hat trick for Vegas. And he gave what I think might have been one of the best answers I've ever heard around, like, you know, it's one of the, like, the halftime, or not halftime, but the in-between period announcers asking him, is like, is there anything, you know, that you can't do? Basically, it was kind of like that, right? And it was kind of like he's having, you know, had such a great second period. And here's what I thought was the best answer I've ever heard. He says, well, what I can't do is do this alone. I was like, holy shit, like, that's an MVP answer right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, that's media training. It's
that's
hopefully it's not just media training. Hopefully it's, you know, the way he actually thinks is like, it's a team sport and stuff like that. But I thought that was such a good answer.
Well, especially for him, he's far and away their best player by quite a bit.
Yeah, I have no idea who these players are.
They have really good players. I mean, they won that Stanley Cup a couple
years ago. I remember that.
But Marner's like a dude. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the goals that was called back was his. Yeah. It would have been his. So he would have had 4 goals in the game, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. A lot of local Hawks fans were hoping to sign him in free agency last year, but nah. I don't know if the Hawks were necessarily ready for that or didn't want to commit the money. And well, here we are. So, So who knows? But yeah, exciting series. And then, you know, real quick, we could touch on it. How about the Knicks just
I'm surprised
blowing through
the
NBA playoffs?
Yeah, they haven't lost the game like I don't know, 40 days or something like that.
No, I know, it's crazy. They didn't lose a game in the entire month of May, and we're a week into June, and they're up 2-0 on the Spurs, and they show no signs of letting up.
Yeah. They took home field advantage, or home court advantage away, I should say.
Yeah.
And now they've got game 3. Apparently Trump's going to be at that game, so good luck to all the people attending that game and the security measures that they're going to have to go through.
Yeah.
But this is almost like are the Knicks like the team of destiny or something, right? With them on this role that they've been on.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because, yeah, Jalen Brunson's a really good basketball player, and they've got Karl Anthony Towns and a bunch of role players, but it's not like
Yeah, they're not like loaded.
exactly. And I don't think of Jalen Brunson as a super, and maybe I should, but I don't think of him as a total superstar. But pretty damn good. He's a local kid. I mean, his dad played for the Bulls for a few years, and he grew up here. But the guy's what, like 6'1", so it's not like he's this big dominating force. But
especially when you see Wembanyama out there.
Yeah. What is he, 7'4"?
Something ridiculous.
7'3",
like, it doesn't make any sense how this kid, he's still a kid, is pulling up for 3-pointers several feet behind the line, also dunking after one step from the free throw line. And for whatever reason they've figured out how to neutralize him, and he's still getting his points, he's still getting his rebounds, but yeah, it's crazy.
There was a game the other night where he did not have an offensive rebound at all. I think there is a way to defend him, because there was a game in the OKC series where he only had like 4 rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, how are you the tallest guy on the court by quite a bit, and you only haul down 4 rebounds in an NBA basketball game? I mean, the guy's rail thin, but he also handles the ball like a point guard. So yeah, I don't know, but I did not think that the Knicks would just roll through this, and maybe they won't. Maybe the Spurs will make a series of it, but you're going back to New York, up 2-0, and you've got chance to win it at home. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, it's obviously one of the greatest playoff runs ever in any sport, let alone basketball.
So I'm guessing. I'm thinking about this. Is how do you defend Wembanyama and have him not get those rebounds? The only thing he can think of is somehow his guy that he's supposed to be marking, if they're playing man-to-man, is away from the basket.
Well, Towns
keep him away from the basket.
Yeah, Towns is a pretty good 3-point shooter himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're right, and you depend on other guys to go get your rebounds for you. So basically, Towns' rebounds should probably match or be pretty close to what Wemby has, because like you said, keep him away from the basket. So
yeah, let me look this up. So first game, Towns had 13 rebounds.
Okay.
Wembanyama had 9. Towns only took 5 3-pointers, but for what he's what, their center.
Yeah,
crazy how the NBA has changed.
I know.
Wembanyama took 6 3-pointers, so that was the first game that they won. Oh, that was the game they won by 1 at the very end again, and that was also what a crappy way to end it, with Wembanyama throwing the ball at the back of one of his guys who turned his head at the last second.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
That was rough. That was just kind of like of course that happened.
Sure.
The previous game, the first game, Towns had 12 rebounds and Wembanyama had 12 rebounds.
Okay.
But Towns only took 2 3-point shots and he missed both of them. So I think that was also a game when Wembanyama didn't have a great game. He's like 6 for 21. So
okay.
So yeah, I'm pulling for Wembanyama because I think he's a good story, but I wonder if the freight train is just too strong right now.
Yeah, I don't see them coming back from down 2-0 and having to go on the road to stay alive. I mean, there's a chance that they won't come back to San Antonio.
Right.
So, and of course, the Bulls being Eastern Conference team, I don't want to see the Knicks win anything, but they're just damn good.
Right.
And what, this would be the first time in, God, over 20 years that they've even been to the finals, let alone, winning anything. I think the last time they won a title, Phil Jackson was a player
Yeah, it was like
for
70
them.
something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
79,
good story
70.
for the NBA, I think. I think either way, it's a good story, right? Knicks is our major market, so that's a win.
Yeah.
If somehow the Spurs do win it, it's a great story because Wembanyama is now like the heir apparent.
He's like
With
the face of the league.
Yeah,
Sure.
so I think you kind of win either way with it. But I think Knicks winning is better right now because it's like, all right, we'll see you next year
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
playoff experience and stuff like that. Because the other thing too is about the Spurs don't have a ton of playoff experience.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they got a decent supporting cast with Castle and De'Aaron Fox and
Hmm.
a couple other guys that don't come to mind right now. But,
Yeah, some role players.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of basketball, we lost one of our own today.
yeah, that was a shocker to me.
Yeah, I remember. I don't. I'm not sure where I saw it. It was just all of a sudden it popped up, and I had to text my wife. It was like, Stacey King just passed away.
Yeah, I got a text from a coworker who just sent a picture, and I was like in denial. I'm like, no way. 59 years old. Apparently, they're saying he died of complications from a fall at his house
Hmm.
or at his home somehow. Um, we'll say he was a big dude, not in the best shape. I mean, he was a big guy, who obviously was not in playing shape anymore. But I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But I mean, that guy was Chicago basketball. He loved the Bulls,
Yeah,
loved listening to him cover the Bulls. I mean, he's a Bulls player. He won 3 titles with the Bulls. I think on their the first 3?
yeah, the 91, 2, and 3, I think.
Yeah. And then he's been a commentator for them for years.
Yeah, give me the
And
hot sauce. Drive
oh
home. Beep
God,
beep.
give me the hot sauce. Show me my poster machine. You know, too fast, too strong, too big, too good, whatever the hell it was. Oh, he had all the sayings.
Yeah,
The Derrick Rose dunk on Dragic is his all timer.
yeah. I mean, that was a good one, but yeah, it sucks. That apparently, kind of fell at home. Sounds like he hit his head, and that was it.
He, as bad as the Bulls have been, he made games still pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, he was a good color guy. I think it helped that he played right. He was part of those teams, and so he was woven into the very fabric of the Bulls for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that. Yeah, that's sad. That is sad. So it's so weird because this is so, and I didn't even think of this because you know how these things tend to happen in threes. So suddenly I get a text from another coworker of mine who says he's like, "Well, that competes the trifecta on this round." So it's like what Kyle Busch, the NASCAR driver who died, and he was only 41, and then couple days ago, or I don't know if it was a couple days ago or like a week ago, was it DJ Rob Bass?
Mhm.
He passed away. He was, I believe, also 59 or 58, and now Stacey King. So yeah, weird.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
But yeah, no, that sucks. I will that those are some big shoes to fill on the Bulls broadcast, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how you follow that.
Well, we'll follow it with college baseball, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you're going somewhere.
So on Tuesday, my 14U team and myself are headed to Omaha, Nebraska, which most people would say, Omaha, yippee, why? But that next week is the beginning. It's later in the week. We'll get there. I'll get there Tuesday late afternoon, and I think the tournament actually doesn't. The college baseball tournament doesn't start till Friday, but we'll get to a game. But that's where the College World Series is, and super regionals, I think, all wrapped up today. And so the final 8 teams kind of descend on Omaha every year and play out a double elimination tournament. So that's the College World Series has always been a bucket list thing for me to go see. So I'm looking forward to going to a game, maybe 2 while we're there. We'll see what happens, but really looking forward to that. That's going to be fun.
That's cool. With your boys, you said?
I'm going with our 14U team. It's just
Oh, okay.
me, my household that's going, but we're going with the kids team, and
Oh, that'd be
we'll
fun for them
play.
then, so they get to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be cool. My boys went years ago, and I didn't have a chance to go because I think one of them was still playing here, so parents had to stay home or something like that. But there was a year where Justin and Jeremy went on 2 different teams. They just happened to go at the same time, and I think it was Jeremy's team, or no, actually it was both teams. They were staying in the same hotel as the Vanderbilt team that had Cubs shortstop Dansby Swanson on it. So they got to see him and meet him, and I guess the college guys were totally cool and signing autographs and things like that. So they kind of met up at the hotel, and yeah, it was pretty cool. So
It's neat. So is
yeah,
that the plan then for these kids as well, is to try to get some autographs from his players?
yeah,
Or?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. I think they'll just kind of absorb the whole experience and, go to a game. And usually there's a lot of hoopla in the town that, while this is taking place. So that'll be fun. And, you never know who's playing at these things and who becomes big at baseball's next biggest thing or whatever. So I know, God, I don't know who all. The only team I know for sure that advanced is Ole Miss from Mississippi and North Carolina. So I know those 2 teams got there. And there's obviously 6 others that I have no idea who they are. But I guess what is it? North Carolina is going for the 9th time in the last 20 years. So that's pretty cool.
That's news to me, but again, I don't follow
Yeah,
baseball.
there you go.
I don't follow, at Major League Baseball. I'm definitely not following college baseball.
Well, speaking of Major League Baseball, I just have to throw this one tidbit in because it doesn't happen very often. But as of right now, I believe the White Sox have a half a game record better than the Cubs.
And the Cubs play tonight against the Giants, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how they did.
I don't either.
But it's like both teams are right around.
See, the Cubs are 34 and 31.
Oh, I think the Sox as of right now are the same.
Yeah, 34 and 31.
Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, I don't know what the Cubs did today. The Sox lost. They lost in Philadelphia today.
Let's see. They're alive right now. They're down. Oh, they lost 2-1 and 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Cubs are struggling. They just have no offense, man. They're really struggling.
Which is what they're built around.
Yeah, pretty much. And if I'm not mistaken, they had another pitcher go down today, so that's not going to help them either.
All right. Well, I guess let me know when I should watch them.
But
later
yeah,
this
man,
year.
headed to Omaha. I'm really looking forward to that, and yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Cool.
Playing ball. The kids will play ball, and I'll get to watch a ton of baseball and not have to work and all that fun
Sounds
stuff.
like heaven for you, man.
I know.
A man of your advanced age. That sounds like retirement.
I know, right? So yeah, looking forward to that. And my men's league team played today and got their 8th win, so they are now 8-0.
Oh, so have you been able to get any mop-up duty? Get in the game?
No, we had enough guys today, but apparently in a couple of weeks we could be in a situation where I could be needed.
Oh,
so I got
to start jersey?
Catch. What's that?
You have a jersey?
I do have a jersey.
All right, what number?
20.
20. Okay.
So apparently I learned this today because we were talking about it today, and I'm not on the roster. And coaches are exempt from not being on the roster. They don't have to be on the roster. They can play no matter what if they need to.
Okay.
So it could happen.
So you got to get ready, man.
I know. I got to start playing catch. I got to get in the cages. I got to prepare myself. I cannot look bad.
Right.
Because God forbid, we aim on the line and, our undefeated record is on the line. I got to be able to produce.
Right.
So, but hey, I coach third. I'm having a great time. It's a lot of fun. I will tell you this though. I did one hand a 1-hop foul ball today.
All right.
Ball hit down the line, 1-hop, boom, stuck my left hand out, caught it barehanded.
That hurts, doesn't it?
It hurt for a couple minutes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty hard.
Like, I never understood how, like, people are so nonchalant about barehanding stuff. Like,
Yeah,
that's gotta hurt.
it stung for a couple minutes, but, after a while, it goes away.
Mm.
Obviously, if you don't break something. Funny story. Here, I got a quick story, and I know we're looking to wrap up, but when I played high school baseball, I don't know how this happened. So I'm playing first base, and there's a ground ball to the third baseman, and he throws the ball over. Ball gets thrown into the dirt. So it's a one hop. And most, first baseman, they got the first baseman's glove, go to scoop it, whatever. I don't know what happened. It was a total reflex. I don't know what. I'm left-handed. Did I stick out the glove on my right hand? No. I stuck my left hand out barehanded, caught it right at my waist, got the out, and people were looking at me like, what in the world did you just do? I just caught the ball barehanded on a throw from the third baseman. And what I remember was it was a total reflex. It's not something I did on purpose. And it didn't hurt at all. It didn't sting, nothing. I just caught it, boom, whatever. Dropped the ball pitcher's mound and went back in the dugout. And the coach looked at me basically saying, don't ever do that again. I'm like, I don't know what happened.
All right, take me through this again. So you're playing first.
I'm playing first base.
Okay, and you're lefty.
I am left-handed. So
the ball is thrown to your left or to your right?
The ball, literally, Jeb, I'm telling you, was coming. If I didn't catch it, it would hit me in the stomach.
Okay. And instead of the glove, you're just like, oh, I'll just catch this with my non-glove hand.
Again, total reflex. So the throw comes, bounces probably about, 4 or 5 feet in front of me. Ball comes up. Most people, it's like catching a ground ball in your mitt. But for whatever reason, out of a reflex, I don't know what happened. I just stuck my left hand out, and it just went right into my hand. Right into my hand. Did not bounce out. Nothing. Caught it barehanded, and inning over.
Huh.
Very strange. I'll never forget it. I will never forget it. My dad said that's one of the craziest things I've ever seen in, his 79 years around the game or whatever. He goes, I just kind of, every time he talks about it, I'm like, Dad, I don't know. I don't know what happened. He just happened to be at the game, and yeah, it was wild.
Was it coming too fast? And was it like a bang bang? Like the guy, really whipped it in there?
We got the guy by a step. Mm-hmm. It was a hard throw from third base. I don't know.
Did you reach?
I don't know.
Did you extend like you normally would with your glove hand?
Yeah.
Or did you let it come to you at the base?
I kind of met it halfway. Mm-hmm. Like I started to stick my hand out, and it just kind of skipped up and went right into my hand. But I should have caught. Was it catchable with the glove? Absolutely.
You wanted style points.
I guess I'm just badass, man. I don't know what happened.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's definitely true. Was there, someone in the audience you were, trying to impress?
No hot girl in the audience or at the game or nothing like that. This was just a high school. I was a sophomore. I think it was either sophomore or freshman year. I don't remember. So it's just a, regular old game that didn't even matter in Fairport, New York. But again, I'll never forget it.
I wonder if there's a photo of it somewhere.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, this would have been before camera phones and stuff like that. So
no, it's one of the
high school sports reporter of some sort.
No, it's one of the 2 crazy plays I was involved in my baseball life. So yeah, that was one of them.
All right. Well, we can't end with that. Not finding out the second one.
Oh, the other one's a quick one. So I'm the base runner at third base. Another base runner at first. I was, oh God, I think I was 10 when this happened. All-Star game, playing at night, 4th of July, Lyle fireworks in the background, all that kind of stuff. So there are a lot of people at the game. Guy's on first. He takes off for second base. Throw goes through. I go to steal home. Well, it's the classic catcher just throw it to the shortstop, and shortstop throws back to the plate. I should have been out by 20 feet. Catcher comes up the line to tag me. I jumped right over him. hurdled him and landed right on the back of the plate, safe. No big deal. But again, it was kind of a what the hell just happened, because the other manager complained that I didn't slide, and the umpire looked at him and said he avoided the tag. So, I was safe, no problem. But yeah, pretty wild.
Can you still do that? Like, didn't they change the rules? Like, you can't jump or like they're trying to avoid collisions, right, at home and like dangerous plays.
I know you can't bowl.
You can't run over the catcher.
Yeah, the only contact you can make with him is if you're running and the throw happens to go where you're running. You don't. If it just happens, it happens. You cannot initiate the contact.
But you also have to stay in the baseline.
Yeah, you have to stay in the baseline, but the catcher has to give you a lane to the plate. If that makes sense.
So they can't block the plate.
Right. They can't totally block the plate. They can block part of it, but they have to give you access to home plate. Whereas before, they could totally block it, and that's why you went in like a football player and knocked him over. So.
Right. Can you jump over the catcher?
It's happened. Okay. I don't know what
for some reason I thought that there was like a rule that you can't like leave your feet anymore or something like that.
I don't know, but I know not that long ago there was a base runner who jumped and dove like Superman right over the catcher and landed on the plate and safe. The catcher never tagged him. So I don't know. Baseball's a little more strict on that stuff than they used to be. You used to be able to hit guys all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, take guys out, trying to turn double plays.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, you're sliding with your foot way up and
spike guys and or just going late or go in, and take guys out and take guys' legs out and all that good stuff. So doesn't happen anymore though, because people get hurt. We don't want anybody to get hurt.
All right, my man.
That's all I got.
I'll talk to you in a couple days. Actually, no, I'm going to be in Vegas next time. So
I'm going to be driving home from Omaha.
Yeah, so it might be a couple weeks before we reconnect, but
okay.
Safe travels to us both.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Chad, if you're listening, if you've made it through all other 75 episodes at this point, you're next up on the roster. So come on down.
Absolutely. Chad, the invite's always open.
Or Cruz or whoever else, right, wants to be on.
Anybody else.
Yeah.
You can all be friends with Jeff. He's a pretty good guy.
I try. All right, man. I will talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later. Take care.
See ya.
See ya.